What's up YouTube, Webbers5 here, coming at you today with a deck profile from my latest tournament, in which I went 4th place with my Odd Eyes deck with my new Odd Eyes deck with support from Dimension Force. Before we get into the profile guys, just want to make 2 quick notes about cards that I am not playing in my deck, but I do have very good reasons for not playing them. So the first, some of you might be questioning, is why I'm not playing Odd Eyes Synchron. The answer to this is very simple. I couldn't find where I put mine before the tournament, so I naturally couldn't play it because I couldn't find it. And the second one, which might be a controversial opinion, is my not playing Odd Eyes Phantasma Dragon. The answer to that is also very simple. For those who don't know, I'm a European player, and since Odd Eyes Phantasma Dragon has only been released in America, it's not legal in Europe, so naturally I'm not allowed to play it in a tournament because I'm from Europe. And simply put, no other reason. If I could play it, I probably would. Okay, now that's cleared up, onto the deck profile. Okay guys, starting the profile off, we'll go with the ritual monsters in my Odd Eyes deck. It's playing 2 copies of Odd Eyes Pendulum Graph Dragon and 1 copy of Gravity. So with the new support from Dimension Force, rituals are substantially more consistent, so playing them is really fun now. So Pendulum Graph's Pendulum effect is during the end phase you can rotate for a ritual spell, so you search Advent, and then this gets returned to your hand. So as opposed to like the original Odd Eyes where it destroys itself, this one comes back, so it's just more consistent in doing so. I opted to play 2 originally for my engines because if I can get both of them in my hand and the spell, activate Advent, tribute 1 from hand, summon the other, then because of its monster effect, which is a spell negate, you can scale it, negate a spell or effect, and then you can summon an Odd Eyes from your extra deck. And then during the end phase of the turn, I've done that. Activate its effect, return it back to my hand, get back the ritual spell. And since Odd Eyes Advent can summon stuff from the grave, activate it on the next turn. Activate it again. Tribute the 1 in your hand, summon the 1 from the grave, and then you just keep looping it like that. I'm thinking about upping this to 3 because right now I'm finding I really want to summon into Gravity because of its effect that makes my opponent have to pay life points to do stuff, and so I kind of just want to turbo out that as quickly as I can, so I might go for 3 of this and 3 of Advent. Next, the remaining Odd Eyes cards I'm playing. 3 Revolution Dragons, search pretty much any of my Odd Eyes monsters. 1 Pendulum Dragon, found it more useful to bring that back in because Monkey Board's now a thing again. It's also very useful in tandem with Arc Pendulum in the end phase. So end phase, pop Odd Eyes, get a search, and then Arc Pendulum because an Odd Eyes was destroyed, get a new search. Thinking about cutting Arc Pendulum to 2 because I found during my tournament it wasn't as useful, but I was just playing 3 because that's what I was testing with at the time. 2 Persona, just really useful as an extra deck negate, so really good option when I'm setting up with Arc Pendulum early on. And finally, not an Odd Eyes card, but still goes with the Odd Eyes engine, 1 Noble Dragon Magician as my tuner monster. Okay, moving into the Performer Pal engine, or 1 Dissolver, 1 Pendulum Sorcerer, 1 Monkey Board, 3 Joker, 1 Lady Ange, and 2 Gentrude. So Dissolver, there for my fusion plays, easily accessible complements of Arc Pendulum. Pendulum Sorcerer just to search into any of my stuff. Also really useful to pop 2 cards and then search both of these so I can get Gentrude's effect to searching something else. Monkey Board just gives me easy access to anything, either Sorcerer or Joker. Joker searches pretty much the entire deck. And then Lady Ange and Gentrude, they work well with each other. And Lady Ange's Pendulum effect came in quite useful during my tournament as well, just discarding Pendulum monsters to reduce my opponent's monster's stats by 1,000, which was very crucial in my match against Dynamorphia. If I didn't have Lady Ange, I probably would have lost the match. And then the last Pendulum monsters I'm playing, 2 Dark Worm, 1 gate 0. I probably would have thought about playing 3 if I could have found my third one. I've seen some people upping the ratio on gate 0 just because of its effect to summons of the extra deck, which can also trigger Arc Pendulum, but I'm not sure for the moment. I'm happy with it like this. That's it for the monsters. Going into the spells, I'll start with the Odd Eye Centered spell, which is 3 Sky Iris, 1 Odd Eyes Fusion, and 2 Odd Eyes Advent. So Sky Iris naturally to protect my scales and search Odd Eyes cards. Odd Eyes Fusion, just playing 1 of this because Dissolver is my main method of fusion summoning, but Odd Eyes Fusion could come in handy going second, so that's why I've decided to play 1. Then 2 Odd Eyes Advent, I kind of upped this once I realised how broken Gravity was during testing. I mean, I already knew Gravity was broken, but I didn't realise how much I really wanted to turbo it out. Probably going to try and pump this up to 3 once I can figure out space. But I just need some thoughts about that. If anyone has any ideas, just comment at the end of the video. And so, next go into more search spells. 3 Spiral Flame Strike and 3 Duelist Alliance. I've got loads of monsters in the deck that have Pendulum in their names now, so this is a really easy card to use. And then Spiral Flame Strike searches me any of my Odd Eyes cards that I'm missing, or I can use it as spot removal as well. It's also not once per turn, so that's pretty useful. And then last spells on the deck I'm playing are my 3 one-offs, so 1 Dragon Shrine, dump Dark Worm, or dump Gravity. 1 Foolish Burial, just another way of dumping a card. Again, dumping a card. 1 Instant Fusion, because of the new monster that came out in Dimension Force, the new Pendulum Fusion that can be really useful to turbo out beyond the Pendulum. It's also very useful. The new monster is also very useful because of its effect, but I'll get into that in a second. So that's it for the main deck. Going into the extra deck, starting with the fusion monsters. 1 Vortex, 1 Gatling Ghoul, 1 Starving Venomy, and 1 Peticiel Couverture. So Vortex, naturally pretty obvious, negates, big defense, always useful. Gatling Ghoul, one of my personal favourite fusion monsters. I've stolen so many games with this card, it's absolutely insane. Starving Venomy, don't summon this as frequently, but pretty easy to summon, and then naturally, because it's a level 7, it's within my Pendulum summoning range, which is always good. And then Couverture, I can use it as an instant fusion target to turbo out beyond the Pendulum, or additionally, because of its monster effect, I can do Sky Iris. If I don't have something I can pop, I can go instant fusion summon this, activate Sky Iris, pop this, get a search, and then because of its effect, if it dies in the monster zone, I can scale it in the Pendulum zone, so it's a free search with Sky Iris that I'm not losing anything. Moving into the Synchro monsters, playing 1 Meteor Burst Dragon, 1 Clearwing Synchro Dragon, 1 Supreme King Dragon Clearwing, 1 Ignista Prominence, 1 Nevada, and 1 Odd Eyes Wing Dragon. So 1 Meteor Burst Dragon, stop monster effects in the battle phase. Clearwing Synchro Dragon, just an additional negate of a level 5 or higher on field that can then buff to smack over something. Supreme King Clearwing, board wipe my opponent, also kill a monster, and burn its attacker's damage. There's literally no part in that I don't like. Ignista Prominence, just a decent bit of spot removal. Nirvana, just kind of personal preference, because I've got very minimum ways of going into it, because I'd need to use one of my level 7 synchros, and then the only level 3 Pendulum I play in my main deck is Lady Ange, and Pendulum Car is rare, but I've got the option if I want to. And finally, Odd Eyes Wing Dragon. He's just really good for filling the extra deck requirements of Odd Eyes Fusion and Odd Eyes Advent. Since he's a level 8, can meet the Odd Eyes Advent requirement. And because it's both an Odd Eyes and a Pendulum monster, it can meet either of Vortex's requirements if I use Odd Eyes Fusion. XZ's monsters are playing 1 Absolute, 1 Dark Anthelion, and 1 Red Ice Flare Metal Dragon. So Absolute, good one. Just another easy way to turbo into Vortex if I've got multiple level 7s, or I can use it for bringing back Vortex if I've already summoned it properly. Dark Anthelion, just a great way to smack over them. Good way to smack over a monster and just have some extra attack points on board. And then Flare Metal, because he just combos so well with Gravity to force my opponent of losing 1,000 life points every time they play a card. Just a great way to put them under pressure. And then last cards in the extra deck, my Link monsters of choice. 1 Beyond the Pendulum, 1 Dark, the Dark Charm and Gloomy. So Beyond the Pendulum can search a Pendulum monster on summon at the cost of 1,200 life points, and then she's locking you out of effects. And because of the locking out of effects, naturally your opponent might not necessarily want to negate this, because if they negate the surge effect, then you're not locked with the restriction. So your opponent's going to be aware of that, so it's a good way. So it's a way to get a definitive surge, but naturally do be very careful, guys, when doing so. And then a second effect can be quite useful, that if you summon 2 monsters with different levels to zone she points to, she can pop 2 cards. But it does have to be 2 cards, which can be kind of annoying. And then I'm also playing Dark Charm and Gloomy, because there's just very few sometimes you just want to steal something from your opponent. There's lots of good dark monsters in the game. And then finally, quickly going through my side deck of what I played. One of Pankratops, Ether, and Extra Slinger. Pankratops, just, pretty decent going second option. Ether, also a nice going second option in Pendulum, because a Pendulum summon it, banish a card. That's pretty fun. Slinger, action. Slinger, good burn option in time. Easily searchable now because we've got Monkey Pod back. Then the other generic stuff I was playing: 3 Ghost Ogre, 3 Lancia, 3 Super Poly, and 3 Lightning Storm. Only thing I would have changed about this is probably changing Lightning Storm for something like Cosmic Cyclone, because I did get hit under an anti-spell fragrance, and then that basically made me have to skip the game. Okay guys, so that was the profile. Hope you all enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below about what you thought about it, and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the content. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.